Hello, it's Jim Hutchins for the Jerusalem Connection Spot Report for this third day of July 2017. Well, tomorrow is the 4th of July, our day of independence. We celebrate our independence from Great Britain. And we celebrate it by recalling the Declaration of Independence. And I want to digress from our normal subject matter today, and just by way of stirring up your pure minds by remembrance, read the preamble to our Declaration of Independence. It was a unanimous declaration of the 13 United States colonies at that time. July 4th, 1776. When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them. The laws of nature and nature's God have entitled this to this declaration and to what this declaration calls for. It is a it's a declaration, a decent respect, calls for a decent respect to the opinions of mankind, and requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, readily apparent, it's obvious, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator, by the God of the universe, the God of Holy Scriptures, endowed by the Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and indeed the pursuit of happiness. And that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men. God has given us the rights. Government is to secure these rights. Deriving their just power from the consent of the governed. That's us. We vote and we determine what government does. Supposedly, that's the way it's supposed to work. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive to these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it and to institute a new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety, happiness, and prudence. Indeed, will dictate the governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer the evils, while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the forms by which they are accustomed. It's easier to just endure the suffering than to abolish that which is causing the suffering. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such a government and provide new guards for their future security. Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies. Such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former systems of government. The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states. And to prove this, let the facts be submitted to a candid world. And there are a whole list of abuses then that Great Britain had imposed in a tyrannical fashion upon this country, upon our first 13 colonies. And this Declaration of Independence is, as one author has said, a promise. And the Constitution was the fulfillment of that promise. We face the same kind of usurpation, abuses, direct attack upon our values, our principles, as did those 13 colonies. And it's incumbent upon us that we recognize that what we have is a gift of God's grace. Alexander Hamilton said in 1775, the sacred rights, the God-given rights, the sacred rights of mankind are not to be rummaged for among our parchments or musty records. They are written as with a sunbeam in the whole volume of human nature, by the hand of divinity itself, by the hand of God, the God of the Bible, by the hand of divinity itself, and can never be erased or obscured by mortal power. It's in danger of it today, but it cannot be erased. And as believers, Christians especially, we need to remember what Paul tells us in Romans chapter 13. Everyone, he says, must submit himself to the governing authorities. For there is no authority except that which God has established. The authorities that exist have been established by God. And that is especially true of this country that has been endowed by God and by our Creator with the unalienable rights of life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. We need to protect it. God help us to return to this declaration and claim the promises that are there. Till next week, Od Kiev O Shiloh, or until Messiah comes, Yivareka Yahweh. Yahweh bless you. Bless those you love. Bless those who love you.